And I will tell you that if you're a milk drinker, a cheese eater, pasta, you're going to be in trouble when you start to detox, especially if you're a heavy milk drinker, yogurt, kefirs, things like this. You're in for some respiratory and sinus drainage. There's no question about it. And I want to talk more about that because I wanted to earlier on videos, but things have been just really crazy around here. And with the corona and all that and all the fear. So I want to get deeper into that. But I want to discuss the flu. I don't care what viral starts it, what cold weather starts it, or detox starts it. And we talked about this before, that you happen to notice that the symptoms are all the same. You know why? Because it's your body trying to get rid of, and I'll use their word, an invader. And I'm going to cover some interesting things for you here so you can see what even their minds kind of think a little bit about. But remember, your body is designed to either develop immunity against something or to get rid of it. And I have to say that, in my opinion, it is not always good to develop immunity against proteins. But some of these virals, the body gets immune to them, and so it doesn't have such an immune response. Here's the problem. The immune response is what you want. Now you say, all these deaths. The trouble with this is there are always deaths with sickness. And those people that are dying, now there was a 35-year-old down here that passed. He was in the hospital 4 days. And I don't care who you are, in 4 days, that flu should have been turned around. If you know how to deal with this. When you go into a hospital, you're taking your life in your own hands. I don't care. The Consumer Reports, and people respect Consumer Reports, on the front of their magazine it said, protect yourself, on the front page, front cover, protect yourself from your hospital stay. 440,000 people died last year from hospital errors. 440,000. Now, I spent 5 years in hospitals. You can triple that. Triple it, easy, and be more factual. Now, how many died from the flu? You see where I'm going? People are dying from hospital stays by the thousands worldwide, if not by the tens of thousands worldwide. Because medical doctors do not understand how the body works. They do not understand nature. They do not understand chemistry like they think they do. And they do not understand how the body moves itself through cleansing and healing. If you don't understand that, I suggest you put your degree in. Now, here's a lady called in to my son. Now, everybody knows my son is working here now, one of them. And she was telling him that she went to her medical doctor. And she told him, and said, I'm going to go all on fruit with this corona. He said, oh, it'll kill you. You can't go on fruit, all that sugar. And he listed a whole bunch of things she could go into. So my son said to her, he said, you didn't ask him about bread? Is it okay to have bread? So you can guarantee it'll be okay if you have bread. But you can't have fruit, but you can have bread. Now, let me ask you guys, which one has the most sugar? Fruit or grains? You have di and polysaccharides in grains. You have monosaccharides, meaning simple sugars in fruits and vegetables. Di means two, and poly means many. So you've got many sugars, sucroses, maltoses, dextroses. You've got all kinds of complex sugars. A complex chemistry will invoke an immune response. That is about the only polysaccharide that I know of, the only kind of carbon-based constituent that is mucus-forming, mucosic responsive. Most mucosic responsive, and I'll read this to you from a medical mind, is proteins. All right, so I want to read some things to you so you can get this. But I want to talk about this flu again. You notice that you go through stages, right? The first stage, of course, you're starting to get a sore throat. You're starting to feel congested. You're starting to feel short of breath. You're starting to feel tight. Why? The body is invoking the various immune responses, from interleukins to histamines, possibly, to you name it. You know, edemic type responses and stuff like this. So what the body's doing, it's trying to hydrate, and this is vital, Because the one thing they tell you to do during these things is hydrate. But then they give you Gatorade, or they give you some crap that's not truly a hydrator. So let's say you're in the hospital and their idea of hydration is on the acidic side of chemistry, which it can't be. That would kill you. So, you have to examine these deaths that are in the hospital and examine how they treated you during a detoxification, because they can flatly kill you, especially the dietitians. Because here you are with a cold and flu-like symptom. The first thing the body says is don't eat. That's the first thing. Why? The body needs all its energy to start to clean move itself into detoxification. That's a natural process of the body trying to get rid of the unwanted, whether it's stored up mucus, proteins, foreign chemistry of any type, metals, mercury, it doesn't matter. You do not want, in my opinion, to develop immunity against some of these chemicals. You want the body to actually get rid of them for you. So having immunity against everything isn't always smart, is it? Because your body needs to expel some of these proteins. The problem is that people look at cold and flu-like symptoms as a disease. And when a medical doctor calls this a disease, I want to knock them on the head and say, turn in your degree at the corner and then go dig ditches or something. Because if you don't understand how the body works, why do you call yourself a medical doctor? This is pure the body detoxifying. And you have to understand that when you start detoxifying, there's a method to do this, and you don't have to die. There's a method to do this that helps you come through this nice and easy. Okay, so what's the first thing you do? You go on a fruit diet. Fruit, fruit, fruit. Why? One of the fastest hydrators and astringent. So we're hydrating. Now, what does hydration do in chemistry? Think about this. So we have two sides of chemistry. One side is the acidic side, right? That's a cationic environment, an agglomerative, inflamed, corrosive environment. The other side is the love side. That's the electrolyte, energetic side, the electrolyte side. That's hydration. That's alkalization. And when you get that, you start to get fluidity. That starts a detox. And I've said this before to you, that some of our clients, as soon as I put them on a fruit diet and raw foods to detox, they go right into the flu. Right into it. Why? Yeah, I heard you. They needed it. Absolutely. They're full. The people that are the most compromised, guys, are those that have been treated by medical people. Everybody thinks medical people are so great. Really, I want you guys to take another big look at this, because that's not true. They're part of the problem, not part of the solution. And man's, well, get a vaccine, get all this stuff like that. I'm going to read to you about that. So you go through phases during a cold and flu-like symptom. At first, you're going, oh, I can't hardly breathe and stuff like that. What do? Antispasmodic. 3-lung. Antispasmodic relaxes your breathing. 3-lung start to break up this saturated mucus. Now, when you're acidic, things saturate. When you start to do fruit, everything alkalizes and breaks up. Right? So, as you move through the phases of this, you get sweating, you might get a fever and you might not. Hopefully you do, but that's to get the skin open. That's to get yourself sweating. Fevers are a vital part of health and life. When a medical doctor doesn't understand that, go put your degree back in. Don't collect $200 and go back out and dig ditches. Because if you don't understand why fevers are essential to life, then I don't know what you're doing, putting your name under the word health. You should be sued for that. The whole medical community should be sued for using our word health. They sue us for using their words. They're not about health whatsoever. Not whatsoever. You might have a few good medical doctors out there that tell you what to eat and how to do things. Love them. But for the bulk of them, these guys are nutsos. Telling these, and there's another person that said going on fruit, the medical doctor said, oh, you can't have fruit, it's too much sugar, it's going to... That's a seriously flawed medical doctor. That's a seriously stupid medical doctor. And forgive me, because I'm really energetic after I detox, so watch out. This is why I kind of balance myself out, because I've got so much energy all times, guys. It gives me so much energy, I go nuts. That's why I have to lower myself down a little bit. So forgive me, but this thing sends me off to the moon.